Lou Thesz faithfully defended his World Heavyweight Championship.
Rogers strut. Kowalski's got him right where he wants him.
Dory Funk Jr. wanting that World Heavyweight Championship.
10 pounds of pure gold.
Simon Felder's Dusty Rhodes has just become the World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion.
Presenting the greatest organization in wrestling history.
We always deliver on our promises at the National Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, but pretty hard, and look at what are you going to work now? Oh!
Hey everybody, it's Durger time. Thank you for joining me once again for another episode of NWA The Dynasty. We are back. We had a pretty good show. It's getting worse, but some of that has to do with the fact that we have a lot of these production issues here. So I think we look at these today, and I think we decide to bump these up, and maybe we can see if we can we get any of these better. No, not really. So this is the problem. New Japan of America and NXT are absolutely wrecking us. So Strong and NXT licensed, in-house, event venue large, high quality. That is so rough. Just going briefly through this here, we'd have to pay $10,000 a show, $7,500 a show, $75,000 a month. I just don't see us financially doing. Yeah, we're stuck here. So this could be a problem, which is we're gonna run at a point where we're gonna be running these shows and getting these penalties. And, we were running basically the same type of show, getting 63s, 58s, and now we're hitting, 54 on our best days. So we're going to have to keep that in mind. Now, granted, we could stack this. If we were playing TEW and not booking, we could stack this, with no issue. But, we're here to book. We're here to put on a show. So I'm not intensely concerned. I would rather story come first, but certainly it's disheartening when you go from 63s to 51s, even with a sellout. Again, we talked about maybe buying a studio. I don't hate the idea. We'd have to take a look at how much it would cost. We obviously last episode got rid of our training facility. Hurt my soul to do it, but we just needed to. We were hemorrhaging too much money too quickly. So hopefully that right sides us a little bit. But having our own venue might be beneficial in our smaller stages because one, it's going to become a hotbed. What that's going to do is get, I think, more audience members or increase our boost. I'm trying to remember the specifics of how a hotbed works, and maybe if you're super familiar in the comments, you'll know. But I know if you're a hotbed, it tends to be. I think there's some kind of maybe popularity boost there, or it might be an initial audience boost. But there's some benefit to it. It also allows us to control because we can set up. Obviously we're not going to set up a 2,500 venue. We're going to set up like a 250 venue. It only costs $6,000. I mean, hell, we could probably do 300. 300, it's only 7,200, and that's not too bad. And then we would have it. And I would probably just say, like the NWA studio or something like that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do National Wrestling Alliance official studio set. Official soundstage set for the NWA and areas available for growth. So this, if we set this up, which we're about to do, we're going to build it. That's fine. Now, at this point, we now have a investment. we have a venue. We could sell it. We could also do upgrades. So it's going to be a little expensive to upgrade. But, we could add another 60 and just keep on upgrading it and making it a little bit bigger. We can change the name and stuff like that if we needed to. But we have a venue now that will accommodate us for some growth. Should be a little bit cheaper. I don't think we'll get any additional money off of it, but we don't have to rent it out, which is nice too. And we have it being a hotbed, so that's pretty good for us. Going into this next episode, we're nearing the end of our tournament. I know we talked about it before, but just to give everybody the quick visualization, Chris Adonis out. Homicide has one more match, but is out. Ricky Starks has 2 more matches and is, I guess you would call this quarterfinals at this point. Nick Aldis has 2 more and is definitely in the sort of qualifier quarterfinals here. Joe Henning is out. At best, he could get a 5. He has 1 match left. Jacob Fatu is out at 5. Colby Carino is out at 4. Lance Archer is out at 4. Black Taurus is in with 6 and 2 matches to go, and David Boy Smith Jr. Obviously is also out. So we have a total of, I think, 4 matches. 1, 2, I think 5 matches or something like that. So we have still on the plate here for Ricky Starks. He still has a match with Nick Aldis that he has not had yet. And he has a match against, I believe, Black Taurus. Nick Aldis has a match with Ricky, and who is that? 5. Joe Henning. Joe Henning obviously has a match with Nick Aldis. Homicide has a match with Black Taurus and Ricky. So, getting down towards the end of this, the winner will be crowned the national television champion. So we probably aren't going to finish it, I think, this episode, but I think we're going to get down to next week would be the final match. I mean, we could, if we just did like, if we did, we could bang it out here almost. But it would involve Ricky 2 times being in 2 matches and Nick Aldis being in 2 matches. And that doesn't make any sense. So it would be this week, next week, and it might even be the 3rd week for sort of the last match. So pretty exciting. This was fun to book. Very different. I probably wouldn't do it again anytime soon, especially this large. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of our top talent out of sort of the storyline area. Not necessarily a bad thing because it allowed us to kind of use other people, but maybe in the future I wouldn't necessarily put all of our heavy hitters in here because there are certainly heavy hitters. Obviously I'm talking about Joe Henning and Chris Adonis and Homicide. These other chumps, who cares? But maybe not putting all of your heavy hitters in one tournament for your mid-card belt was the best decision, but it's one that we did, and we're moving on from it. But I hope you guys have been enjoying it. Something different. I had a lot of fun booking it. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's get on over to our next episode of Worldwide. Everybody, I come back bearing bad news. Danhausen and Warhorse are no longer friends. Very, very bad news. Obviously, we also finished 5th out of 8th for our regional battles and took a suffering of 5% gain for this next month, which is unfortunate. Goldberg also moving on from WWE. Probably is not interested in working in the NWA. Nope, not a shock. Would have been interesting. A lot more injuries would have happened, but could have been interesting there. Other than that, not a lot of news going on in the world here. Just wanted to bring that to your all attention. Let's go ahead and let's get on to the PM side of this day. All right. We do have a backstage incident. A whole bunch, actually. I'm not really sure what's going on. We got something involve Matthias here. He created a great atmosphere. He pulled a great rib on the entire locker room. Everyone laughed afterwards. Matthias is a people person. And again, I forgot to go in. I keep on saying it. I got to go in and do some changes of personalities and kind of clean them up a little bit. So probably going to do that. Maybe I'll do that this week. I don't know. I got to do a lot to prepare for our brand new save on the channel. If you saw the news, we reached over 2,000 subscribers. And as such, I am reviving a passion project of mine that I never really did. I wasn't ready to do what I needed to do for it. And it's been in the back burner for a while. So if you haven't seen it, check out the announcement. That'll be dropping sometime in May, probably closer to the end of May. But there may be some very small videos about it popping up, maybe in Discord, maybe on my Twitter, maybe even on the YouTube channel. So check it out and see what it's all about. And hopefully it really turns out to be something special. That's what I'm hoping for. So anyways, speaking about something special, Matthias Breeze, locker room personality here, certainly special for us. Carlito, though, also involved in something. Brightened the backstage simply by being so cheerful and fun around. He's relaxed, he's happy. And Robert Gibson, Jordan Oliver, I'm assuming there's some protege stuff here. Taking his wing as a protege. That's very cool. It's always good to have protege work going on. We are going to... looks like we have some negative, so I always like to throw the open form in there. It does give us a little bit of a backstage hit, but generally I think we're in a pretty good spot, so it's not going to hurt that much, and it's going to alleviate some tension that we have for some of the smaller issues with being left off a show or something like that. After a couple of these, that tends to kind of clear it up. Ramona Riot irritated. Maybe she wasn't on TV a lot. Jerick irritated. I don't know why you were irritated. Kevin Von Erich, I don't know why you were irritated. Cody Rhodes, I could probably understand why you're irritated. Aaron Solo, I don't know why you're irritated. We should look at why was everybody so irritated. Ramona Riot, I kind of understand because probably just being left off of the show, and that makes sense. Cody, thought Cody was on the show. Just being upset about being left off a couple episodes. Cody thinks that every episode people need to be asking, where's Cody, if he's not there. So I guess that makes sense. Kevin Von Erich, though, why? What's your problem? Just not being on the show? Is that your problem too? Being left off? Okay. Sure. Can we renegotiate with you? Can I just say, occasional nostalgia? I might have to look at renegotiating him because I don't. You shouldn't be upset. You're a manager. You're an on-screen personality. Stop it. Anyways, we are going to be. We have 219 fans. Guess what? We're going to be able to accommodate it because we're going to pick the best option. Oh, and for some reason it's not picking the NWA. Oh, did I put it in the wrong place? I didn't think I did, but. Oh, there it is. National Wrestling Alliance official studio. I might set where it's officially, because I think it would technically be in Atlanta, but for now, this name's good. Not sure why it's picking GBD. It might just be that that's cheaper to run. It is. You see, its importance is 50. It's hot. It is not a hotbed, though. Ours, super important, is a hotbed. Not 100% sure if... I'll take a look later. Not sure what the hotbed does for us, but I'm still going to pick it. I don't care about the extra money. Though actually, it was GBD more expensive. It was. So, okay, whatever. We're going to be there. We're going to be able to accommodate the entire audience, get those extra 19 fans or 20 fans in, get them buying stuff, get them buying merchandise, get them doing signings, get them paying tickets. That is going to be helpful for us. So, in the end, I think it is worth it. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's book this show. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Alright, everybody, we have a full 123 minutes. We could have, I guess, squeezed an extra 2 minutes in there, but 4 pre-show segments and a bunch of other stuff happening on this show. It's cram-packed. Will it be good? I don't know. But we will have to see. Let's go ahead and join us here for our new episode of NWA Worldwide. Starting the show off in the pre-show, we got Tim Storm Jr. and Aaron Solo, aka The Factory, versus Kerry Morton and Mance Warner. Not much to say about it. Just was something to kind of build up some of this Aaron Solo story with Tim Storm Jr. They win, beat Kerry Morton and Mance Warner. Looks like Kerry Morton is pinned by Aaron Solo. Mance Warner heads and shoulders above everybody else. We gotta find something to do with him, and I think we will now that the tournament's over. I think we're gonna put him in a feud with somebody. That should be pretty fun. I think we'll probably transition a lot of the post-tournament people are gonna get storylines after the next pay-per-view. So that's sort of the jumping off point. So we'll put Mance in a storyline involving something there. We advance the storyline of the betrayal of Tim Storm Jr. Obviously, Tim Storm Jr. and Aaron Solo have a little bit of beef going on. Aaron's been side-eyeing him and kind of being upset with him, kind of being the new guy joining group, and they're having some tensions in this tag match. Not sure. I guess I didn't set anything up afterwards. I thought I had set up a little after, but maybe I put it in the wrong spot. We will have to find out. Maybe randomly in the middle of the show, for no reason at all, there will be a segment. Ooh, that looks rough. Lyle Doom cracked a tailbone during this match. It was a kind of nothing match, just a quick match with Delilah Doom and Ramona Riot versus Kimberly and Marty Bell. Kimberly and Delilah have like a back burner feud waiting to happen. We had a little bit of segments on, but we haven't had enough time to really do anything with. But that is going to kind of change things there. So pretty rough. Pretty rough outcome for a pre-show dark match, especially when it only did a 44. Very rough. We have much less rough, actually, though not for Leland Race has anything to do with this, but we have a pretty good pre-show match. Jacob Fatu just in 6 minutes just demolishes Leland Race. Fatu had not the best showing in the tournament, and while certainly I'm not necessarily booking him as a monster, because we already have several monsters, we definitely want to build up some momentum that he may have lost and some of that legitimacy he may have lost by taking some of those L's in tournament. So having him quickly job people out is going to help that out a lot. And he just ragdolls Leland here, submits him in quick 6 minutes. Fatu is a 74. Leland has a 27. And Fatu obviously looking very good out there. So pretty solid. Starting the show proper, we got a segment with Cody Rhodes and Remy Zane, who have consistently been giving us 80s. Can't complain about that one bit. To start off the show, Remy comes out to cut a promo about how cheap Cody and his goons are being. And Cody pretty much interrupts immediately, bringing out the whole squad. The Knights are there. Axel Henning's there. And, he's saying basically, listen, Remy, I don't need my boys to beat you. You're complaining that there's a numbers game. Honestly, truthfully, you're not even in my league. You want a match? You got it. We already have something scheduled for the pay-per-view. But if you want, we could fight tonight. And Cody goes on about how, like, Remy's awkward, and he's always been weird, and how off-putting it is to people, and how it's limited his growth. And he says that he basically has no friends here, or even at the other place where he worked at. He goes, why don't... Here's how it's going to work. We're going to have a tag match tonight. You're not going to get me in a one-on-one. Yeah, that's saved for pay-per-views. You want to start wrestling? How about let's have a match. And I don't even need my guys. I'll find somebody else. But why don't you find someone willing to put up with your shit for 20 minutes and face me tonight? I'm just going to scroll through my giant contact list, and I'll find someone who likes me that wants to beat your ass. So Cody saying he doesn't need a Dynasty. He doesn't even need to be there to beat him. He'll have a tag match with Remy, and he will find a friend to come by to have this match. And Remy has to find somebody, and nobody likes him. Basically, that's sort of the gist of it. The announce desk of the week here, which is interesting, kind of struggling, but got the crowd hot. Remy apparently superb, going off script, and had everybody in palm of their hands, and got the show off to a superb start here. So very good. We have a main event, a tag match, Remy and his mystery partner versus Cody and his mystery partner. But one of those mystery partners is not a mystery for long. Because immediately, before Cody can even leave, Eddie Kingston's music hits, and he walks down to the ring, brushes past and kind of like shoulders Cody as he walks by, and he faces Remy and rips the microphone out of his hand. And he starts talking roughly to Remy. He goes, "Remy Zane, we go back. I mean, you look a lot different now. You know, thicker beard and a little bit different than, with that without that mask on, partner. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't like you. I don't like your attitude. I don't like the friends that you keep. I don't like that constant sunny disposition. I don't like how weird you are. If I had an opportunity, I'd love to slap that grin off your face that you have on right now. But you know what?" He turns and looks at Cody, and he points to him. "I hate that son of a bitch so much more. Do you want a partner? Yeah, you got it tonight." Hands the mic back to Remy, flips off Cody, and then walks out of the ring. So Eddie has interjected himself. Obviously, Eddie's been upset with Cody since, feeling that, Cody's been kind of cheating, and, they've had their encounters already, let's say, earlier on in the save, and haven't been fans. So, of course, Eddie is more than willing to interject just for an opportunity to get his hands on Cody a little bit. This, again, does very well. Gets us a 68. And we start our first of our finals in our Strongbow Memorial Tournament match. I cannot talk tonight. It's a decent match. Unfortunately, it's not like great. Homicide and Black Taurus don't click at all. So we see a little bit of a problem there. But in this match, Black Taurus, of course, defeats Homicide in 11 minutes. There's a stoppage. Homicide could not continue fighting. Taurus just kind of beat him so hard. Yeah, it's not a great match. I guess it's only a 36. That clicking hurt. Probably the style of the match hurt as well. We'd have to look at the dirt sheet, but I want to say it was... Oh, penalized for chemistry. Overwhelmed by manager. That's interesting. I was trying to remember what we had to set as, but I wonder if we had a penalty. I don't see it, actually. Doesn't look like we had a penalty for for the type of match it was. It was a wild brawl. There it is. I knew I could find it in there, which the crowd likes. So kind of shocked that it, with being fed into a crowd, it didn't do a little bit better than a 36. But I'm thinking this kind of hurt us here. But Black Taurus now has 7 points in this tournament, the most of any worker. There were 10 participants, so he's basically 7 out of 10. And he has one more match left. So a very strong position going into the final parts of this tournament. Afterwards, we got the New Horsemen, who have been on a roll since starting under the tutelage of Arn Anderson. They have been clicking. They've been doing pretty good, even though they actually lose some heat with this segment, though. We were running out of people to have them wrestle, so we had them wrestle the Rock and Roll Express. Clearly a bad idea, as they both had only like a 23-26. And overall, actually, the Horsemen carried the Rock and Roll Express to a 42. But again, we're kind of just giving them a dominant position here. Not much to say about it. Gosh, he got the crowd hotter, even though it was a subpar thing. In-ring work, in terms of in-ring work, Brian Pillman Jr. above everybody else. And even then, not by a lot. 49. Rock Anderson's improving immensely. Looking at his popularity growth, he's been put in good numbers, and the goal of this tag team is to get him into good feuds and good matchups and kind of build that up. So, doing pretty good here. But not a great match, but honestly, end of the day, could have been worse. Afterwards, we have a backstage interview with Colt Cabana, which I would have thought would have done more better. So kind of shocked that this got so poor. I guess that poor momentum kind of hurt him a little bit. But Colt's backstage. He's having an interview about his tensions with Aaron and him. And he says, Aaron's upset because what? I like to goof off and have some fun. Yeah, I'll admit, I do. I like to make people laugh. What we're here for. Wrestlers, it's that's sort of our goal, is to make people feel things, and that's how I do it. And the thing is, I don't think that's what Aaron's mad about. It's not about me having a good time. I think Aaron's mad that when I go out there and maybe I'm goofing off a little bit, maybe I'm playing to some jokes, and I make the crowd laugh, and the audience, they feel something. They come in. Maybe they're stressed out about work and news and life and school, but for a little bit of time, for the time that I'm in the ring, they're happy, they're joyful. They take all their problems and worries and just let them wash away for a little bit. You see, Aaron hates that. It's not because I'm not taking things seriously. Because that when he's out there and he takes it seriously and he looks at that audience and what he sees is that they feel nothing. He knows it, and it eats him alive. That's the thing. He's mistaking my good spirits, though, for weakness. And he's attacking my friends. Make no mistake, I'm not laughing anymore. If Aaron wants a fight, yeah, he's getting one. But he's not going to like me when my smile goes away. So, Colt challenging Aaron, obviously building up to a pay-per-view match, ready to fight Aaron and rough him up, bring out a dark side of Colt here. Gotta be careful, because remember, Colt Cabana used to be Colt Cabana. So there's a dark side in him. Don't know if that's going to come out, but you got to be careful around him. Overall, this is a 44. It's not too bad. We got another tag match between Warhausen and Breeze and Sleaze. Not much to say about it. It's pretty okay. 49. Breeze and Sleaze defeat Warhausen in 11 minutes. Zicky Dice gets the win, pins Danhausen with a Malibu Sleaze. Breeze is actually the top performer here. Actually, no, it's Warhorse. Warhorse at 56, then Matthias Breeze, then Danhausen, then Zicky Dice. Zicky and Matthias have great chemistry, as does Danhausen. Actually, Danhausen is having a groundswell of support. Luckily, the breaking up of the friendship between Warhorse and Danhausen not affecting things too much here. Ultimately gets us a 49. Afterwards, Zicky Dice is out there with Matthias Breeze celebrating. Ace Austin comes out to yell at him. Obviously, Zicky kind of abandoned him. He's been upset with Ace's unhingedness and his lack of respect for the group. The two of them are going back and forth before Zicky says, I've talked it with the boys, and honestly, we don't need you anymore. You don't bring us anything. You're out of smoking Aces. Ace is furious. He attacks him. Everybody's attacking each other. Matthias Breeze and Jericho 120 get kind of grounded. Zicky and Ace are brawling, and eventually staff have to come out to break them up and keep them separated. So we're kind of building up towards this blow-off of Ace Austin being unhinged, has now even lost his own stable. Zicky Dice kind of assuming the command of the stable and basically trying to knock some sense into Ace and say, listen, we don't need you anymore. This gets a 50. It's pretty good. Not much other to say about it other than, pretty happy with it. In our other Strongbow Memorial match, we got Joe Henning versus Nick Aldis. So it's also a pretty decent match. It gets a 50. It's a good heat, decent wrestling. Nick Aldis defeats Joe Axel Henning in 14 minutes by submission. This was part of the tournament. This now gives Nick Aldis 6 points, and he now has one more match, I believe, after this, which will be against Ricky Starks, who also has 6. Nick Aldis here has a 55. Joe Henning has a 49. Afterwards, the ring announcer kind of points out the situation. Basically, Ricky Starks has 2 more matches, and he has a 6. Black Taurus has a 7 with a 1 more match against Ricky Starks. Nick Aldis has 1 more match at a 6 with Ricky Starks. So at this point, if we get into a 3-way or a 2-way tie, what's going to end up happening is they're going to have a separate finals match after the tournament to determine the winner. They cannot have a 3-way tie, because with Taurus at 7, that would not be possible at this point. Actually, would it be possible? It might be possible. We got to take a look. We got to take a look at how that could potentially shake out. But certainly, all 3 competitors are now barreling down towards each other. Nick Aldis, exhausted, is just kind of pouring his heart out on a microphone after the match. And, he just says, you know what, I'm looking at this now, and I know it's a long shot. I know that, that peak on the mountain's looking higher than ever, but God, do I want to climb it again. I just want to become NWA champion again. I want to be on television again and, be part of that legacy. And you're willing to do anything to get it. And so, he's talking about that desperation. He says, Ricky Starks, and he kind of calls out towards Ricky Starks, who's not there at the moment. He says, you got 2 matches left. You've got the numbers, but damn do I have the drive. Sometimes you have to roll a hard 6 and pull out all the stops. Well, next week, you and I square off, and you're going to face an opponent unlike anything you have before. And I'm not talking about that bull. I'm talking about me. Ricky comes out to confront Nick. They both shake hands, but they're interrupted by Black Taurus and Alley Catch. Alley and Black Taurus are standing at the entrance. Alley kind of looks at Taurus and nods, and then Taurus, taking the command, proceeds to rush to the ring and attack both of them. They work together to try to fend him off, but he is just too powerful and lays them both out. Overall, this is pretty good. 62, good for all involved. Very happy with that segment. We got Alison Kay versus Kylie Ray. It's a good match. Decent reaction from the crowd. Alison Kay would give a win here for 11 minutes, give her a submission, trying to kind of build her up now as we go into the pay-per-view. Obviously, she's going to be facing Jamie Hayter. Overall, they're about evenly matched. Does pretty okay. Gets a 49. I think we need something to cool the crowd, and we don't have it, so we're starting to see a dip in the ratings here. But they actually had good chemistry, which is good to see. And then finally, for our main event, Cody comes out, Crew comes out, Remy's out, with Eddie, and then obviously we had the debut of Matt Cardona, Cody's friend, the indie god, comes out to join Cody to assist him in this match. Not an official member of the Dynasty, obviously, just Cody's friend. He's got an egomaniac gimmick. It only gets a adequate rating, which is fine. Actually, his debut here for Overness does not do very well, which I was kind of shocked. I thought he would have got a bit bigger of a pop there. Bit of a bummer. But we have our match, and it's a pretty good match. I mean, it's what we kind of expected here. Matt's actually the weak link at a 53. Cody's a 71. Eddie's a 66. And Remy's a 64. It was considered to have superb wrestling and had great heat. Cody and Matt Cardona do defeat Remy and Eddie in 14 minutes. Cody pins Remy with a crossroads following interference from the damn Knights. They came out anyways and interfered in the match. We knew they weren't going to be able to stay away. Eddie's going to be pissed. Remy's going to be pissed. This match gets a 70. Very good for a main event. Afterwards, we have a big old just cluster brawl. Post-match, the Dynasty just starts attacking Eddie Kingston and Remy. Cody's just laughing. Matt Cardona's watching on the sidelines before he starts grinning and joining in. So while he's not part of the Dynasty, he is solely aligned here with Cody, willing to just kind of attack. We actually lose heat a little bit for this because some of our other segments have been so strong. But numbers game overwhelms Cody here and hurts him, which is going to be a problem going into the main event of the pay-per-view. How is he going to be able to counteract this? We will have to see. Ends the show. Is it like a 51 again? Hopefully not lower. Let's see. 60. Actually pretty solid. That really strong main event really helped us, even though we have all of these penalties that we're just not going to be able to financially remove. Increased popularity in all 18 regions. Can't complain about that. Pretty solid stuff. All right. Overall, I think we had a pretty good show, and certainly says that show was awesome. Can't complain about that. We do have that unfortunate injury, though, with Delilah Doom. So that is unfortunate. Not sure how long she's going to be out, but with a cracked tailbone, that's thankfully not a main star, but certainly something that kind of sucks. Actually, 27 days, not too bad at all. Can't complain about that. All things considered, that is not too bad. Anyways, pretty good show. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not subscribed yet, please think about subscribing to the channel. We just crossed the 2K gap, but there's so much more work to do. Thank you all for joining me today. I'll catch you next time.